Everyone else can experience the world's greatest rock and roll band on Spotify. The world's largest subscription music streaming service is moving into new territory this morning. Spotify announced Wednesday it's going to add video and podcasts through media partnerships. Spotify founder and CEO Daniel Ek is with us at the table. Daniel, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Okay, so everybody knows Spotify for music. Why video?
Well, you know, we kind of looked at the biggest moments where people were listening to music. And what we found is that when asking really users why they weren't using Spotify more in those moments, they were saying that they were doing more than just listening to music. So if you think about a person going to work in their car, they actually want news as well. They want weather, they want traffic reports as well. So we started realizing that maybe this was a way to take our base in music and expand it to get people to listen to even more music.
Yeah, you said you want
by giving them the other things as well.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, because now you say you want to be a 24-hour destination.
Yeah.
You're not happy with just having the music. So how do you plan to do that?
Well, we're really thinking about this and thinking about the largest moments in people's lives. And we're thinking about how we can soundtrack more of those moments. So it could be your daily exercise, which is something we announced yesterday, which is a partnership with Nike,
cool, yeah.
where we're now looking at how people can run better and use music as a way to run longer, faster, and better.
So where do you see Spotify in 5 years?
Well, I think that the world is changing so much with the use of technology. So I hope that we're this destination where we're a bigger part of people's lives and we can play a bigger role in serving them greater music, greater forms of entertainment.
Now, you've got some competition. Tidal was announced by Jay-Z. Are you worried about that?
Well, the way we look at this is think about the growth of smartphones. So we've got now 4 or 5 billion smartphones in the world. I don't know who in the world doesn't like music. So the way we're thinking about this, every person on this planet that has a smartphone will use it to play music. And the vast majority of them will use streaming as that way of listening to music. And if you think about that, we're still in the early days and probably have more than 10 times growth less. So we're really all trying to grow the market, not fight over market share.
But one of the criticisms about Spotify is that the artists are not fairly compensated or compensated. How do you respond to that?
Well, so the biggest artist on Spotify today, we're actually paying out somewhere between $5 to $10 million a year.
Who is the biggest artist on Spotify?
Well, it's certainly the Ariana Grandes, it's Ed Sheeran, there's a lot of big artists today. So these are big checks they're being paid out, and Spotify has so far paid out more than $2 billion. But even so, this is still early days, and the numbers will keep on growing, and it will trickle down to artists, and they will see it.
Daniel, there's no doubt that Spotify is a great product. People who use it really, really like it. How is, though, that a company that's really so well liked, how is it that you had a loss of more than $180 million last year? Is the company not profitable?
No, we're not profitable, but we also, what a lot of people forget is, again, the way we look at the world is that this is a space where we're talking about billions of consumers in the next 5 years that will listen to music. So what we're really doing is we're investing in that growth. We took Spotify to 35 new markets last year, and that's a huge investment in local offices, sales force, local people who can help with content and so on. So it's really the investment phase for us still.
So what happens if an artist says, I don't want to be on Spotify?
Like Taylor Swift did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sure. I'd like to know, when you got that word, did you freak out? Did you say, let me try to keep her? Or did you say, okay?
Well, we certainly want to have Taylor on the service, but like before, I think, you know, again, whether you look at MTV or you look at iTunes or any of those services, there were a lot of people that weren't on that too. I mean, Beatles came on just 2-3 years ago on iTunes. AC/DC, I think, came on just 18 months ago.
What's the biggest name not on Spotify?
I would say the Beatles, of course.
Yeah. All right. Well, Daniel Ek, thank you so much for joining us. We'll keep watching. Appreciate it.
Great.